Hi, Chris here from Truly Holistic. In this video, we're going to talk a bit about diet nutrition and coupling that with happiness, because in regards to diets and changing a form of the way we eat, I see a lot of suffering occurring with people. Okay, and we must understand why we're here. We're here, obviously, our dharma is to ascend, right? Ascension. But what is ascension supposed to give us? It's supposed to give us happiness, okay? To fill that void that maybe within this matrix reality, something doesn't fit with us, okay? It just doesn't sit right. And we're just looking for pure, unconditional love and happiness, okay? And the way I see diets is diets are taking us away from happiness, right? So that's why I'm not a big fan of putting ourselves into a strict diet or putting us into a small box to say we must eat those foods or drink those substances, and anything outside of that then we shouldn't be touching, even though we still have a connection to that food or that substance, and we're having this internal struggle within us that is really eradicating any form of happiness or connection we had to our food, because there is always going to be an emotional connection with food and things that we are attracted to. It's just about not making it into a abusive situation where we are attracted to something and we just continually consume that substance. A perfect example in this reality, in this world at the moment, is coffee. And that gets us into another topic of conversation about certain substances that we are abusing currently, because we're not using them in the right manner. It's not about completely cutting them out of your lifestyle, your diet. It's just about understanding how to use that substance. and a perfect example of that with coffee is that substances like the caffeine that's in coffee is a vasodilator. Okay, if we just drink coffee all the time by itself, then all of a sudden it stimulates the body too much. Adrenals get burnt out, but when really the true nature of using caffeine or anything that has caffeine in it is using it as a delivery system. As it's a vasodilator, any substance you put within it of medicinal value will be absorbed into the body a lot better. Okay, so when we know that we can add medicine to our coffee, then all of a sudden that changes the completely different way of looking at coffee. Okay, instead of seeing this thing as coffee that, hey, I'm only taking coffee because I'm always tired and I'm trying to keep my energy level up all the time, and the downsides to it, all this adrenal burnout. Now, and that might not be a downside. You may already have adrenal burnout, and that's why you're having coffee. But seeing coffee as a delivery system to add the medicine that you require to get yourself out of that hole in regards to adrenal burnout or being tired. Okay? And that's where it can work, and therefore you don't have to drop coffee, right? You can still have coffee, but using it in the correct manner to remove mineral deficiencies and remove issues of why you're tired in the first place. Okay? Same thing with chocolate. What's in chocolate? Theobromine, and that's a very close relative compound chemical to caffeine. Theobromine, again, has the same effect. It's a vasodilator. So all of a sudden you hear all the guilt and the shame from people. Oh, I shouldn't be eating chocolate. Yeah, maybe candy chocolate because it's full of sugar. But what about getting the real chocolate? Upgrading to cacao, raw cacao, beans, or the powder, or even the butter. It's fantastic oil to even put on your skin. And that's, again, another topic for another day, using your skin to get nutrients through it. But using chocolate in a way to add medicine to it. Okay? So a good way is making smoothies with raw cacao in it. And you add all the other adaptogenic herbs. It could be ashwagandha, it could be maca. I'll tell you, at the moment, the smoothie that I'm doing, and I absolutely love it at the moment, is adding cacao with things like ashwagandha, which is an adaptogenic herb from the Ayurvedic system in India, adding hemp seeds, adding concentrated mineral drops, adding medicinal mushrooms, which we'll get to in a sec. all these great superfoods and super herbs, and then delivering it with a vehicle like theobromine, or it could be caffeine if you're using coffee as a base in your smoothie or a drink or a hot beverage. Then all of a sudden you're using those substances in the correct manner that the ancients used them for, instead of just eating your candy chocolate or drinking coffee all the time by itself. Then you're abusing it, but using it in a different manner to use it as a delivery vehicle for medicine. Then we don't have to drop those things out of our diet or our lifestyle. We can still enjoy chocolate. We can still enjoy coffee. We can even still enjoy tobacco in a certain way. Okay, even tobacco. If we upgrade with tobacco, the mainstream is selling you tobacco that is laden with chemicals, hundreds of thousands of chemicals, fire retardants, all sorts of stuff within those substances that get delivered into your body at a very deep level. Because what's within tobacco that has the vasodilating effect? And that's nicotine. Okay, nicotine is a delivery vehicle again. Okay, so again, you can upgrade with your tobacco. You can get tobacco with all that stuff that's not associated with tobacco, because what's causing the disease for a majority of the time in regards to smoking tobacco is is all those additives that's added to it. Okay, not the tobacco itself, not the nicotine. Again, nicotine have an addictive capability, but it's only because we abuse that. We don't use it in the correct manner, just like caffeine, just like theobromine. Okay, so same thing with alcohol as well. Alcohol can be used as medicine. You see people using alcohol to extract certain compounds out of herbs and stuff like that. Well, you can make a medicinal type of alcohol. Also very good for skin cleaning as well, which, again, another topic for another day. But to get back to the topic of this video is the fact that we don't have to let go of what we like in regards to eating and drinking. We just need to upgrade, okay? Upgrade to a cleaner variety, a more organic variety that has less pesticides and herbicides and those sorts of things, and use them in the correct manner, use them in a balanced manner, okay? And the whole word, I guess, of balance is going to take us into this next conversation, next topic, and this is about the colonies of bacteria, yeasts, fungi, within the body, okay? We all obviously suffer, a lot of people suffer with colds and flus, like symptoms, being run down and so on. And that really comes down to a balance of strains of the pathogenic bacteria, friendly bacteria. Same thing with yeast strains and so on within the body, is that we all have pathogenic bacteria, we all have pathogenic yeasts, and all the things that can make us unwell within the body all the time. But it's making sure that they don't proliferate within the body, okay? They are balanced by a polarity within the body, which is the friendly bacteria. Pathogenic bacteria, friendly bacteria. And a great analogy I like to use in regards to this balance is like seats within the parliamentary house or your government. Who has a majority of the seats will keep the other one in check, okay? So let's take, for example, if we're in an environment, a high stress environment, we're eating too much sugar, we're using those substances such as coffee or tobacco in a way that we're abusing our body, our temple, which is our body, in a way that it gets run down, and all of a sudden it's creating an environment within the body for that pathogenic bacteria to have a majority of the house, okay? And we'll call the body the house. And all of a sudden it runs the body, okay? And all of a sudden it will run your body to a low vibration, energetic low vibration, and you get unwell. Okay, so, and then all of a sudden, we've had this massive marketplace for probiotics and friendly bacteria and prebiotics to try and make sure that the house has a majority in the friendly bacteria, not the pathogenic bacteria. Okay, so one thing that we need to understand is that this whole thing about catching illness, and a lot of the time, it does happen, but it's not as common as you think. It's just the environment that we create for our body that disturbs this balance on what we're talking about here in regards to pathogenic and friendly. Okay, now we know the things that allow a great environment within the body for the friendly bacteria to govern house. Okay, is is making sure that we're not eating a lot of sugar. Obviously, trying to make sure that we're not stressing ourselves out completely. Eating certain fibers of food that feed friendly bacteria strains, and also taking in fermented foods or a probiotic. Okay, so fermented foods could be sauerkraut, could be kombucha, which have friendly yeasts within them. Could be yogurts, kefirs, and fermented vegetables, or just taking a probiotic supplement in itself. So I thought I'd talk about that balance. Now, certain things that help to modulate the immune system. Okay, we're talking about immune system. When we talk about bacteria strains, we're talking about immune system. There is more bacteria cells within us or on us than human cells. So we're a farmer of bacteria. We're a farmer of all these microbes that are within our body and on our body. But it's up to us what environment we create for it, whether it's pro-pathogenic or pro-friendly. So, and when we talk about the bacteria and friendly bacteria, we talk about essentially 90% of our immune function. Okay, so it's important. So, what are certain compounds that can modulate the immune system? Okay, because all of a sudden people ask me about what certain supplements should I take: garlic, vitamin C, echinacea, all these sorts of things, olive leaf, to pull ourselves out of a rundown situation where we've got like cold-like symptoms, or our immune system's not working very good. Now, I like to see it in a way of modulating the immune system. It's a lot smarter way of doing it, more intelligent way of doing it, because how do you know that your immune system's breaking down by being too hyperactive, or just you got low immune function? And because quite often if you can take a substance like garlic, now if you're a hyperactive immune system, then garlic could actually cause you more problems. Okay, and it can be good for boosting your immune system, but if you've got a hyperactive immune system and that's why your immune system keeps breaking down, then garlic's not going to be the wisest thing for you. So we want to modulate the immune system. So if you're hyperactive, it'll bring it back into a equilibrium or balance. If it's low immune system, we want to bring it into a balance again, an equilibrium. So a great substance you want to be bringing into your lifestyle or in your diet is medicinal mushrooms. Now, medicinal mushrooms are not magic mushrooms. Now, these are mushrooms that grow within trees because the mycelium, okay, there's a big mycelium within the soil, okay, the topsoil, okay, and they keep the soil and a lot of the forests and all over this planet within balance, okay. When you see the strands of mycelium, it's a bit like networking of our of our internet. Okay, and they've also found the medicinal mushrooms that they all have all the neurotransmitters that we have for us to think. So they're highly intelligent, and they're a part of the kingdom that we need to bring into our diet, which is fungi. Okay, now a lot of the times we get associated with fungi with fungal infections. For example, candida, yeast infections, and also mold. Now, these medicinal mushrooms, though, they counteract mold. They counteract fungal infections. They modulate your immune system. So it doesn't matter whether it's hyperactive or low immunity, it will get the job done, okay? It will get your immune system working really, really well. So what are the medicinal mushrooms? Reishi is one. Chaga, lion's mane, shiitake, cordyceps, and a number of others, okay? And there is a marketplace now for medicinal mushrooms. They're adding them into coffee. So you can buy coffee and enjoy coffee if you're a coffee fan, and it'll have medicinal mushrooms in it that counteract the acidity of coffee, and and also create a strong immune system, and also keep your adrenal support at a high level instead of it being depleted by coffee. And also, you're adding the caffeine with that a medicinal substance, medicinal mushroom, as a delivery system as well. So, very smart. But try to add these to your diet in regards to keeping your immune system strong, and also that also includes the friendly bacteria and the bacteria within the body. Now, other things that are coming into the marketplace is anything with probiotics in it, or bacteria strains, including deodorant sprays. This is a deodorant I use. It's from a company called Nature Body, and it's a vanilla and lavender probiotic spray deodorant. It's smart. This is smart. This is not using heavy metals. It's not using alcohol. It is using bacteria strains that feed off pathogenic bacteria that you're sweating out. Okay, remember the skin is the largest organ of the body and is a very important detoxification organ. We're going to talk about another time about how to keep the skin clean. Okay, but this will eat the stuff that makes you stink or stench in regards to sweating, and it's got a whole lot of great ingredients in there as well. It's got magnesium, colloidal silver, aloe vera gel, topical probiotics, and so on. In fact, you're going to see a lot more of these. This is the future of medicine, is using friendly bacteria to balance off, again, this whole analogy of a parliamentary house, and making sure a majority is in the friendly bacteria kingdom instead of the pathogenic one. Okay, it's smart. Okay, because what we're doing with antibiotics is essentially like just dropping a bomb in there and killing every bacteria strain whatsoever. Doesn't matter whether it's friendly or pathogenic. Okay, and that's not clever. That's not smart. Okay, this is also mouthwashes. Now this is one I sell on my website, trulyholistic.net. You go to the products page, and I do sell supplements as well as energy tools. And this is a probiotic oral refresh. Okay, so it's a mouthwash. So you just spray it into your mouth, and this gives off Streptococcus salivarius, which is a form of strain of friendly bacteria to keep your mouth cavity clean. Okay, and how many infection issues all come from the mouth? Okay, so again, no alcohol in this product. Okay, like a lot of other mouthwashes. Again, alcohol just removes all bacteria strains. Then we want to do it in a lot clever way using friendly bacteria. You'll see more products like that in the future as well. Also, being an energy practitioner, there is always going to be a negative energy component, entity component to why an infection's there. We need to remove those too, and we do this here at Truly Holistic. But that's just an offside to what this video was all about and what we wanted to talk about. Is everything living has a frequency to it. Okay, we all are energy, including a virus, including a bacteria. All these things, they just want to live. Okay, and it's about keeping everything in check. That is the true summary of this video, is just keeping everything in balance. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. We don't, as a summary, we don't have to drop all the things that we like to eat and like to drink. Don't put yourself through suffering through diets. Remember, the word diet has the word die in it, D-I-E. Now, we want to live it, okay? We want to live it. We want to enjoy ourselves. Even if we're eating something we know is not the best for ourselves, just enjoy it, because the emotions we get if we really we're too serious about what we're eating, and we take on the guilt, shame, fear of what we're eating, because we know that it's not ideally the thing we want to eat. That can be a lot more damaging than the food substance itself. Just go with it, okay? Be smart. You know, it's all about being informative. If you know something's not good for you, at least you know that it's not good for you, because then you don't eat it a lot of the time. But it doesn't mean you cut it out completely out of your diet or out of your lifestyle. We're here to enjoy ourselves. We're here to be happy, people. Just be wise, be informative of what you're doing, including coffee, with the caffeine and the theobromine chocolate and tobacco and all these things, and alcohol. It's just understanding why they're there and using them in the appropriate manner, and you can still keep those things within your lifestyle. including this whole idea of the theory of infections and keeping your body clean, making sure that balance is the key, making sure friendly bacteria strains are balancing out and keeping the pathogenic bacteria strains as well as yeast and fungi and all the microbes in check. That is the key to it. Okay? It's just being smart. If you want to post any questions below, I'm happy to answer. Get in touch with me at trulyholistic.net. It's a way of getting in contact with me as well as booking appointments. Thank you.